Okay, so here we are with the March 23rd, 2022 REI USA Short Sale Supergroup monthly meeting. I posted in Facebook that I was going to do a market update since it's changing very rapidly for foreclosures and short sales right now. They're exploding, and I'm not sure that that's known very well yet, but I'm on the ground seeing it happen with me and my students, getting short sales, getting approvals from banks at ridiculously low prices. $25,000 for a house worth $220, needs $80,000 in work, things like that happening. And so I want to give kind of a general market overview. I did this for my short sale profits monthly coaching group I have. So I'm just going to actually play that recording for you here, since I just did the recording last night for my monthly group for short sale students. And it'll give you the latest data we have on what's happening with foreclosures, where they're at, what the percentage of them are. And then I'm going to do, got a lot of great response to the last meeting where I played some calls with the banks. So tonight I'm going to play a call with a seller. So this is an analysis of a live recorded call with a seller, who responded to the way I teach. If you go back to previous recordings I've done for REI USA, I say that the primary method is direct mail. That's the way that I like to do that, because it's easy. You can pay someone to do it, and you can wait for them to call you. So let's go ahead and do a market update, and then I'll go into a seller call, how that sounds, what you say to the seller on the phone, because you have to be able to reach out to them. You can't say, hey, David makes $50,000 to $150,000 profit on each house. Would you please let me do a short sale? It doesn't work that way, does it? You have to have a heart and a passion to help them out. Okay, and so you have to, learn how to negotiate short sales with the bank so that you control the situation. Remember, I'm not a realtor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. I'm a real estate investor who rehabs 5 to 10 houses a year. All my renovated houses have sold on the MLS in 7 days or less, at list price or higher. I make $50,000 to $150,000 profit on each house by doing short sales, and these are not on the MLS with a realtor, but rather with the homeowner, and I negotiate with the bank. That's what I teach people to do as an investor with it. You can wholesale them, you can rehab them, you can keep them for rentals. You can do short sales on just about any type of residential home, even multifamily properties. But I've got over $3 million in my retirement accounts. This is my own money, not syndicated, not with some banking institution, but my own money that I lend out. So from short sales, I've been so blessed to be able to lend out $3 million, my own money, to rehabbers. So I'll lend you all the money to buy the house, all the money to fix it up, all the money for the points on the loan, and all the money for the monthly interest payments. You need $0 in your checking account financially to be able to start rehabbing houses. And there's a lot that comes with my lending program and stuff. But, point is, I'm a regular guy who's doing short sales for 11 years. And now we've got an amazing opportunity where after 18 months, in July 31st of 2021, the moratorium ended, and the banks are now gearing up to foreclose on people. And you'll get a market update here as I go ahead and just play my recording from last night. That's very well defined. And if you text short, I'll send you these websites. Okay, I'll send you the file that has all these links to these websites I'm about to show you, because you're not going to be able to read them on the screen. So if you text short, SHORT, to my phone number at 636-685-2990, I'll send you the website so you can read the rest of the article. So let's go ahead and listen to this market update from last night here, so we can kind of blow through this and get done with that real quick. And so I've got a Microsoft Word file with all the links on it here. So I'll be reading this list So this will be posted, with the Q&A call. So you won't be able to read the websites on my screen because they're too small, but posted in the Facebook group and on the Kajabi education portal system that this Word file will be there. And I'll try to do notes ahead of time because if not, I just will ramble on and I don't want to read the articles over and over again with it and stuff. So basically, let's go ahead and start here. So this is an article that came out February 21st, 22nd, right after the last Q&A call, okay, that we had. And so this is not old data, but it's just data that's relevant to that time frame that it came out with it. But here's the reason I'm pointing it out, okay, because what I liked about this particular article, and you don't get very many of them, but is this stuff right down here, okay, which basically is saying that when you're looking at this by stage, okay, that these come out, that these foreclosures take place, they come out in stages with it and stuff. And so what happens here by stage is that 26.8% of the loans in forbearance in initial 26.8% are in the initial forbearance plan. Okay, 60% are in a forbearance extension, and 13% are forbearance re-entries. Okay, so that's 100%. So basically, they're kind of trying to tell you how many people are still in the initial forbearance plan, how many are in what was an extension that they were allowed to have, and then how many actually, have come back into it. And this is the big one that you're going to see in the news that are people talking about is, they poo-pooed this and said that, man, we did a great thing. We didn't have any foreclosures. Well, yeah, you don't have any foreclosures for 18 months if you forbid it, and so we saved the country and crap like that. It's all really basically pretty much false. And they're kind of figuring that out, that now that the forbearance is over with, they have to do some kind of modification, workout option. Something has to take place with it. And so you even see some of these say, well, the number of people that are not in forbearance have come down. Well, here's what they're starting to see is 13.7% of them have come back in. Okay, so out of these 1 million people, okay, 13% are coming back in after leaving it and stuff. And so that's a very dangerous statistic. If someone leaves it, they shouldn't be coming back in. But this is a good article that kind of tells you the split in general. I will not read it. I'll move on to the next article because of timing and stuff. So the next article here, my notes say that basically lenders started the foreclosure process on 16,000 properties in February of 2022. Okay, now this is down 40% from January. Okay, with it. So every month since August 1st, till now, foreclosures have been going up each month because the moratorium ended. But yet we only have 16,000, properties that are actually in foreclosure itself. And that number is very puny compared to the 1 million people who are delinquent and in the some kind of workout option that they're supposed to be doing right now. However, it's up almost 176% from last year. So the number of foreclosures are up 176% from last year with it. So anyway, that's important. Those are the foreclosure starts. The actual foreclosures went up 11% from last month. So that's the statistic right here. So let's not get confused. And I don't want to mispronounce things to you. There's two things that you're looking at. Foreclosure starts. That means you simply started a very lengthy procedure. And then foreclosures. That's when it actually took place on the courthouse step. And so those are two different things. They're kind of simultaneous. I mean, one starts and the other becomes the other, if it ends up not getting some kind of mitigation option or a short sale done on it. But basically, we've got 16,000 foreclosures that were started. The normal amount pre-pandemic was, to have about 32,000 going on. So we're only back up to, about 50% of where we were pre-pandemic. And yet my coaching students that are marketing, Lori's got like, I mean, I think we're going to have to give her short sales away to my other students because she just can't keep up with them on it. Carl, mailed, I wish he was on, but I think 15 letters and got 3 short sales out of it after not mailing anything for 4 months, kind of thing. So the banks are causing the homeowners to panic and to take action. And so basically, here's the states with the greatest number of foreclosures in February: California, Florida, Texas, Illinois, and Ohio. That's the top 5 states. Okay, I think New Jersey's number 8, if I remember right. Let's see, here's that and that. That was Adam data. Let's move on to here. Oh, my favorite. This report is very, very lengthy. This is for all the data junkie nerds. I am just going to read my notes because this is so good that we'll be here forever. And so I need to just summarize my notes real quickly. Okay, so this Black Knight data shows that despite more than a 7x increase in January foreclosure starts, it still remains about 20% below pre-pandemic levels. Okay. In addition, foreclosure starts were almost evenly split. Now get this, guys. The foreclosure starts were almost evenly split between borrowers who were already delinquent prior to the pandemic and those who became past due more recently. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. The banks are in a world of hurt. And since the moratorium's over with, any new foreclosure coming in has 0 protection. And so the banks have actually split their time 50-50 between going after those people immediately and then, of course, getting through the backlog of over 1 million people. So that kind of just tells you where the bank's attitude is with some of this stuff. They got no choice but to kind of go after people with it. So in January, let's see, while foreclosure sales increased 14% month over month, they remained 70% below pandemic levels. So let's not make any mistake. The actual real foreclosures, losing your home on the courthouse steps, is well below pre-pandemic levels. And one reason is it takes time for you to do the legal process, especially in a judicial state. But if you're in a judicial state, that's great. You've got a lot of time to market to those people, because a short sale by definition is doing it before the foreclosure date with it. You don't want to have a foreclosure date. So all in, more than 80% of serious delinquencies continue to be protected from foreclosure referral due to bankruptcy, loss mitigation, or forbearance protections. So 80% of the people are still sitting under the CARES Act forbearance protection system simply because the bank hasn't done anything with them. There are 800,000 people still in forbearance. So this is the end of February. This is kind of like live data, if you will, on it. 800,000 still in there. Now, these are the ones that are the seriously delinquent ones. If you count the ones that are 30 and 60, 90 days, there's over 1 million people, or sorry, over 2 million people if you add those in. I never speak about the 2 million people because that's overwhelming, but just even 800,000 who are more than 120 days late is by definition a foreclosure that you can do immediately as soon as you will be able to on it. So basically, as of February 22nd, 790,000 are in active forbearance. Now, this is 2.4% of VA, of FHA, VA, 2% of portfolio loans, and then 1% of GSE loans in America. Okay, so that's kind of your percentages on all loans in America with it. So 275,000 borrowers, 2/3 of those of whom were already delinquent prior to the pandemic remain past due after both forbearance and loss mitigation have ended. Okay, so that's, anyway, there's a lot of data in that. We'll go on to the next one here. Okay, negative equity. So yeah, this is an interesting thing here.
Hey, David.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just a quick question. I was watching one of those Altos videos, and I always wondered, with the whole stopping of the foreclosures like that happened, how much did that remove from the natural cycle of inventory?
Oh, it's terrible because what happened is the normal cycle, it's a great question. The normal cycle is 0.5% of all loans are, in foreclosure. And I got $3 million in my retirement accounts from just that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need a pandemic. I didn't need a foreclosure moratorium. I didn't need any of this. And I was perfectly happy doing one house a month. Okay. And so that percentage was 0.5% in the country. If you look at just the VA loans alone in America, it's 10% are delinquent. Not 0.5%, guys. 10% of all FHA loans are delinquent. Missed a payment. 30, 60, 90 day or more with it. So the numbers are staggering. In that, and there's no way they can possibly foreclose on these people. Immediately. If you take the aggregated data, it's like 3%. When you mix in VA, FHA, Fannie Mae. So Fannie Mae foreclosures, or what you would call delinquencies, are a much lower percentage. Those people were more qualified basically for the loan. If you aggregate the data, it's like 3.5%. So 3.5 divided by 0.5 is 6 to 7 times the normal foreclosure rate that we have, in the country. They're just not actually executing any of it. But that's great, guys. Look, we do not want them to foreclose, because the first thing you do is you have to stop the foreclosure date. What you need to do is to reach out to those people and let them have you help them. And that's what's happening, with my, active students right now is, they're getting calls like crazy because the banks are calling them, telling them, hey, forbearance is over with now. So this core logic, good question, and feel free to interrupt me, anybody with a question here. I'm just going to run through this material, and you're not going to mess me up if you, start talking, or, Don will try to help me with the chat box. You can't do all that at once, but, just throw a question in the chat box too. So core logic, okay, so this is kind of interesting. This is a March 10th article. Now this is for ending December 31st. So, this data has to be aggregated, collated, and looked at and stuff. So it's not, like today's data, it's December 31st. And so this says 1.1 million homes with negative equity in the fourth quarter of 2021, 42% had a loan to value below 125%, and 58% had a loan to value ratio over 125%. So 1.1 million homes have negative equity in this country. Okay, out of that negative equity picture, which is like 100%, okay, there is basically 40% of those people are between 100 and 125% negative equity. 58%, almost 60%, are more than 125% negative equity. No way in the world could they ever sell their home, on the MLS. So I thought that was an interesting statistic. Here's another one. If home prices drop, now keep in mind, interest rates are rising, and it's very possible, I don't think it'll happen, but if it does happen, CoreLogic has got the data to tell us that if home prices drop by 5%, there'll be an additional 183,000 people with negative equity. So we have 1.1 million right now. And if we just have a small 5% drop in prices, we'll have almost 20% more with negative equity. So it's a phenomenal statistic there to be aware of. Okay, now we always go to what's the labor data. We talk about, hey, but David, they can do modifications. That's part of the forbearance system and the workout stuff, and everything. Well, you can't get a loan modification if you have no job. Okay, so we always want to look at the unemployment data. The permanent number of job losses is at 1.6 million people in February. So pandemic and everything's, the inflation's rising and the country's coming back. Well, there's 1.6 million people who never got their job back. Okay, that's a huge number. In February, 4.2 million people reported that they've been unable to work because their employer closed or lost business due to the pandemic. That is, they did not work at all or worked fewer hours at some point in the 4 weeks preceding this February survey. So you got 4.2 million people that reported to the unemployment people that they basically are unable to work. And man, I wish all bookkeepers would contact me out there. Out of that 4.2 million, if you're a bookkeeper with QuickBooks, please contact David Randolph at 636-685-2990. We need a bookkeeper. All right.
Part-time bookkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Part-time is the key because a lot of people are looking for full-time jobs.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, part-time bookkeeper. So anyway, that is and the number of long-term unemployed. Okay. So, you've got short-term, and then eventually after a period of time, they become long-term unemployed. Okay. That's those more than 27 weeks is 1.7 million people. And so we may have, can you believe this, guys? We have an unemployment rate of like what, 4%, 3.5%, a phenomenally low number. And it sounds like things are really good in this country, but yet you've got 1.7 million people who have been out of a job for a long time. These are the people that have these loans. These are the people that can't refinance. And so, this is why you really need to be doing a lot of marketing, to the people. As a matter of fact, it's why in the basic workshop portal, online portal, I give you a bonus way to use listsource.com to get the names and addresses of people who do not have a foreclosure date yet. Those people that are most likely to miss a payment. That's the people I've been talking about for 20 minutes here now. Okay, last thing here, we'll get done with this market update real quickly. This is a Fannie Mae report. Write this down, guys. This is a golden nugget. You hear so many people complain about where are they at, how do I find them? I'm going to just tell you something, okay? This report that I've already analyzed, I'm going to post this in our private membership group, okay? But this data shows you where these loans are at. So by vintage, okay? So I'm going to read my notes here. By vintage, for loans made in 2004 and earlier, okay? So these are all the loans that exist. The ones that were taken out in 2004 or earlier, okay, 5.87% are delinquent. Let's forget national statistics for a moment. We don't care about aggregated national data. Let's fine tune this down to the people that need your help, okay? So loans before 2004, 5.87% of those are seriously delinquent. Okay, these aren't just late, these are people that are seriously delinquent and they could be foreclosed on. Continuing on. Loans made between 2005 and 2008. I'm going to repeat that. Loans between 2005 and 2008. The seriously delinquency is 9.98%. Almost 10% of all the loans between. Did I just give you a clue on what you want to target for your marketing letters? Okay. Remember, the basic workshop gives you a bonus module on how to get names and addresses before the foreclosure. It's from my intermediate workshop. Now, if you take my intermediate workshop, it's an entire all-day online portal system where we show you how to do a lot of other techniques. And one of them is a 20-minute section on how to use listsource.com. I took that out of the intermediate workshop, just a small piece, and it is as a free bonus in the basic short sale online portal system. For those who have that basic portal, I think it's part number 7. I can't remember. It's posted in Facebook. Somebody asked it the other day. Part number 7 or part number 9. So 2005 to 2008, 10% of all those loans are seriously delinquent. Now, loans between 2009 to today's date, it's only 2.32% seriously delinquent. So skip those, ignore them, okay? So anyway, I hope you guys wrote that down or you go back and listen to it. That is the conclusion of my marketing update for the month. Please throw any questions in the chat box or unmute before we move on to open Q&A. So right now I want to take questions about the marketing data. Then we'll move into open Q&A. People sometimes email questions in. I run through a few of them on the Facebook group because not everybody can get access to the Facebook group on here. And then I'll go into recorded audios that we'll analyze. And I've focused on all seller calls tonight, because if you don't know what to say to the seller, you're not going to get anywhere else, with the bank. Okay, so that's the market update. Let's jump up. Let's go through an analysis of a seller call. We're supposed to be cutting our sessions down to 30 minutes, they've told us. So I don't want to keep you over too much here, but we had a lot of high response for the bank recorded phone calls and analysis on the February call. So we did multiple bank phone calls analysis of stopping foreclosures with the bank. So now we're going to do a seller call. So let's go ahead and do that fact. So let's go ahead and go through this one here. Okay, so this here, like I said, just so when I'm playing these calls, throw your question in the chat box, okay, and stuff. And so just when you're playing the call, throw it in the chat box. Okay. So this particular one here. Okay, so this is Pamela Span. Okay, so we're going to play this. So this is our incoming calls that we're playing with it. So this is Pamela Span.
Hello, this is Carl.
Hi, Carl. My name is Pam Span Baker, and I received one of your flyers regarding foreclosure.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was calling to get some information about it. Before I even go any further, I have one scheduled for March 11th, so I don't know if there's anything you guys could do. I want to stay in the house. I don't want to leave. So.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about your loan? Have you ever done like a loan modification?
Well, my mortgage company is Select Portfolio, and I have been working with them. I tell you, I've been working with them for about almost 2 years on loan modification. I think that's the word. And sending them information and documents and everything, profit and loss sheets, banks, everything. And then last Friday, I received a call, and they said that it was denied, and it was denied for the last time or something like that. There was nothing that I could do to, but then I called back, and another rep told me that it's still being processed. So I got to call them back to see. But I thought I'd better have my ducks in a row just in case I have to do something.
Right. So so I don't have that pulled up in front of me on a computer screen thing. Can you tell me about? So obviously banks don't want to own homes. That's not really what they're in the business to do, right? They're in the business to collect debts, right? So they really don't want to own your home, but they will if they have to, and they'll sell it on the courthouse steps if they have to. Do you have any equity in your house?
No, I don't believe. You know what? I'm not really sure. I've never done a second mortgage or anything like that. So,
Okay.
and right now, let me tell you this: I am already in active Chapter 13 bankruptcy, but my home was not attached to that.
Okay. Because so that's one of the methods we've used in the past is to put the house in the bankruptcy, and then that kind of protects the house from the bank for a certain period of time. But it sounds like you may have already been worked through that with a lawyer already a little bit.
Yeah, my lawyer, we didn't do that years ago. I'm like in my third year of my bankruptcy. So my house was just it was always separate. I can't tell you, I mean, I've got the information. I should have had all my stuff pulled up before I called you. But
don't worry.
Yeah, so I was trying to see, is this unheard of to try to stop something like this in 2 weeks? Is that even possible?
So I work with a group of people, and they've been doing this for like a decade. And yes, it is possible to stop it, depending on, if it meets depending on, who the lender is, who actually is the investor behind it, FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. They all have different rules, different processes. But yes, we have stopped them in this amount of time.
Okay.
The Missouri is a 21-day state, so all they have to do is give you a 21-day notice, and that's all they need to do to foreclose on your house. So they can't have a 21-day state and not be able to stop a foreclosure within the 21 days. So they can't have it both ways. So it is possible to stop them.
Okay.
Do you have an email address?
Yes, I do.
Can I send you? So what needs to happen is a third party, such as my company, needs to talk to your bank and say, we're going to try to help this person with their foreclosure. I need to know the information about the loan, who the investor is, what steps have been taken already. Why did you deny it? Did you deny it just out of a whim, or do you actually have a reason for denying a loan modification? And we can find all that information out. But for me to talk to your bank, you have to give me permission. So I have to send you a form, and you have to send it back to me so I can send it to the bank.
I can do that. That's easy.
Excellent. What is your email address?
It's P as in Paul, M as in Sam, N as in Nancy,
Okay.
at yahoo.com.
So just make sure I got this right. It's like Paul, Mary, Nancy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will send that over right away. As soon as you get.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to stop here. Carl's very smart. Okay, you have one goal.
That was
Yes.
Christian.
Do what?
Or sorry, that was Edward, wasn't it?
No, that was Carl.
Oh my gosh, they sound like twins.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's Carl. And so, he's the one that, just sold the house for over 250,000 that he paid 82 for on it. But so write this down, guys. You have one goal on the phone call is to get the authorization form. Okay. Marketing is a system. Marketing is that you mail a letter out. Okay. And you have one goal with that letter is to get them to open it. Okay. And then after they open it, the next goal is one thing. That's to call the phone number on it. Okay. And then after they call that phone number, your next one goal is what you just heard Carl do in less than 5 minutes. Okay. He's done it quicker, but less than 5 minutes is get the email address for the authorization form. You go over to the Facebook group, and in the Facebook group is the authorization form and the email you send to them that covers you legally so that you're sending this authorization and making the proper statements to them. You don't just send it and say, hey, sign it. You send it and you copy and paste the template. So Carl has got the one objective that he has, because keep in mind, guys, we're not a charitable organization. Yes, we want to help families out, but we're only going to help families out on houses that we can make money on, unless it's something that we can do that's going to be positive results for them. But we are not going to step in to their quicksand, okay? If we can help them get a loan modification, great, we'll do that, okay? But if this is going to be a situation where, you're not going to be able to help them, you don't want to be spending your time, trying to do that. So you don't know enough facts yet, okay, about this until you get the authorization form and talk to the bank with it and everything. So, you have a goal to get the authorization form.
The sooner you get it back to me, the sooner I can get over to your company. They usually take a day or two to process it through their system, scan it in, get my name on the authorized information. So the form doesn't let me buy your house or sell your house or do anything with your loan. It just allows me to gather the information we need.
Okay.
There is a spot on there for your Social Security number. Only put your last 4 digits on there.
Okay. No problem.
Don't need to know your entire Social Security number, but
Okay.
they just need those last 4. Because every
right.
time we call the bank, they're going to ask us what the last 4 digits are of your Social Security number, just as a verification process.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to that.
I will get that out within 15 minutes to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, easy peasy, piece of cake, right, guys? I mean, come on. This is one of 3 short sales. This is out of 15 letters. Easy peasy. That's what you're looking for. Okay. You want to get that authorization form signed with it. And they're not ever, you're not working with the people that are cussing and yelling and mad and stuff like that. They can be mad, but just, not where they direct it, towards you. And why did you send them a letter? Did she ever complain about getting this letter? No, she's thankful for it. That's who you want to deal with. So we have a question in the chat box. I'm in New Jersey, which is a judicial state, I believe. Yes, it is. However, are you saying that we could reach out to homeowners in judicial state? Yes, you absolutely can. And negotiate with the homeowners bank on their behalf. Yes, absolutely. Can this form be used in New Jersey? Yes, absolutely. So Ronalda is new to the group and she's got a lot of fun stuff to learn with it. So yes, go to that guide number 3 or whatever guide it was. I showed it earlier. Download all those forms in there. And then judicial states are great because it takes a much longer time for the actual courthouse step auction where the home goes back to the bank. You've got a lot of time. Poor Carl, he has 21 days, okay, when there's a foreclosure posting. So he's got to move. You got plenty of time with it. Michael says, was that from the first letter or one of the following letters? I think actually, let me look at the dates on here. February 28th, March, February 28th, March 2nd. Actually, I think that was from the first letter. That was from the first letter. Stephen says, should Carl have asked any questions regarding amount, delinquent, original mortgage, mortgage balance, conditions of the home, or what, or would that be in a follow-up call with the homeowner? Well, I'll play calls subsequent with all of those things in it, okay? But once again, your goal is to get the authorization form. He achieved that, okay? And so, yes, he should have probably done these 2 additional questions, okay? Which is basically, is this an FHA loan, okay? And do you want to sell the house? Now, she had made mention in the conversation that there was probably no equity. So in that case, do you want to sell the house is a mute question or is not a relevant question, right? So you didn't have to ask that one, but yes, he should have found out if it's an FHA loan because they have a 30-day policy. They don't stop the foreclosure within 30 days. And Missouri's 21 days. We're 9 days too late. Our New Jersey person's got months and months, to know about this before you get to the 30-day window with FHA. So then that would have caused Carl to have to move a little bit quicker if he'd known it was FHA. But you will ask those questions to get more information to help you make a determination of whether you want to really do the short sale, or not. But once again, you will have to confirm all of it once you get authorized and stuff. Now you use those questions to know, like, and trust me, to get the authorization form at the end of the kind of a conversation with it. So the answer is yes and no, Stephen, on that. I teach people get that authorization because without it, there's nothing that you can really do. So let's go we'll just do a quick 23-second follow-up call to that from the authorization being sent. And always be ready to send that authorization right away. Download it from the website, My Profits Group, or the portal, or it's in the basic online workshop, and then change it to your names, okay? And change my name to your name and get it ready to go so you can do just like that and send it off right away. But here's a follow-up call here with it.
Hello?
Hi, is this Pam?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Pam. It's Carl from the
Hi,
Housing
Carl.
Council.
Hi. Yes,
I was
sir.
just confirming that we're still on for 7 o'clock tonight. Is that?
That'll be great if you can.
Yep, I was just wrapping up my last appointment. I'm getting ready to head that way.
Okay. You say.
All right. We'll see you shortly. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
So between the 28th and the 2nd of March, he built up a lot of know, like, and trust and was heading over the house to get the pictures and get, the data that you need, for processing a short sale. in essence, so success with it. Okay, let's move on to any question on that particular call on it. Let's see, we have one. Is there a criteria we should use to determine which county we should focus on? Yeah, it's a good question. So, all the new people in the Profits Facebook group. So most of you don't know this, but the Short Sale Profits group, has an upgraded version where you get a 30-minute, $500 one-on-one coaching call with me, and basically, going through your county that you live in to get the names and addresses of those that are in foreclosure straight from the county legal newspaper. And so that criteria that I tell everybody, and you get this if you're in the basic portal workshop also. So those who have taken the basic portal, if you haven't given this to me, you need to give it to me in email. But your criteria, Ronaldo, is that you need to pick a county that is within 20 or 30 minutes of your home, because what's going to happen is you don't want to be driving and doing rehabs too far away. So for quality of life, you should pick the county that's within 30 minutes of where you live, and you're going to ask Siri, what's the median sales price in that county? Okay, and then you're going to want to compare that to the FHA limit. So what you want to do is you want a median sales price that is, well below the FHA loan limit. The FHA loan limit is the amount that FHA will loan to a new home buyer on a new home. And so that's how much you can borrow. And so you want to target homes where, let's say the FHA loan limit is $300,000 and the average home in that county is $600,000. That's not probably a very good county, because those are going to be jumbo loans, are going to be more expensive. They're not falling under the short sales for FHA. So you want to do it so that the median sales price is, say, 150 or 175 or 200, with it. You still do Fannie Mae loans, but I'm just saying that's your general guideline for the county that you pick. So, and you do need to send that county to me via email. Okay, so we got to wrap it up here, guys. This is it. We're kind of done. Trying to keep these to 30 minutes. Any questions, email me, David Randolph, RANDOLPH at Realty Renovator, REALTY, and then Renovator, RENOVATOR.com. Just email David Randolph at RealtyRenovator.com with any questions. If you can't remember all that or rewind it and write it down, just go to my website, thedavidrandolph.com, davidrandolph.com, and or text the word short to my phone number, 636-685-2990, and I'll give you that Word file with all those links to those websites. If you want to go and look at those websites, they're good for you to check up on. I do monthly updates on that myself, but if you want to read the full articles, text that and I'll send you that document. I can also send you some more information, free video on it too with the slides. So that's it. We're going to conclude the March 2022 REI USA Short Sale Supergroup monthly call. I'm trying to keep these down to 30 minutes now because everybody's very busy out there. So thank you very much.